Yeah. It's Friday. That's funny. It's funny. I got up this morning, did my thing, around 4 in the morning, and all the reps that we do is wired differently, people. It was a little interesting this morning because all the electricity went out. I plugged in a heater. It was so cold out here in Indiana. Funny, my guest is from Michigan. It's probably a little colder up there than it is in Indiana, but I know he's going to have some cold stories for us. But he is a warm-hearted man. This Derrick Boles is amazing. So here's the deal. I get up this morning. I'm doing my reps. I'm getting, it takes me 3 different types of moisturizers to take care of this thing. I got like a certain moisturizer up here. Then I got a certain moisturizer here. Then I got to put the really thick stuff on my beard. Isn't that funny how life is? Derrick Boles is amazing. He's going to come on here in a little bit. But I was doing my reps. I was on getting Derrick's show ready and everything. And all of a sudden, all the electricity went out. I blew a breaker. You ever blow a breaker? I think I blow breakers a lot. So I put on some more clothing, went outside. It was raining. I came back in. I wasn't even going to go out there. This little cabin I have is with breaker systems outside. Don't tell me one like a 1940 model. Went back out there, flipped the breaker. Everything came back on. Well, what I want to tell you is Derrick Boles flipped my breaker. I was out in the Super Bowl, and a lot of you watched that amazing whirlwind, and we talked to Darren Gray earlier this week. But I don't think there's anybody that really flipped my breaker like Derrick did for me at the Super Bowl. This guy came on like a force of nature. He was just so bright and so cheery and so loving and so energetic. I just couldn't but help be attracted to him. I mean, I just kind of followed him around a little bit. I was mesmerized by his gifts and his appeal. Yeah. You ever had anybody in your life flip your breaker? Derrick flipped it back on for me that day. I was like, I want to learn more about him. So as the week progressed, we stayed together, and we came home after that week, the whole Tony Dungy week and the Super Bowl and everything. Derrick really worked at staying in touch with me. He flipped the breaker back on. We weren't talking, right? We just kind of, things go cold sometimes. He flipped the breaker back on. I said, man, I want to hang out with you. I want to hang out with you too. Let's get to the show. And then I didn't get him to the tiki hut quite right. And I felt bad because of the push and the shove and everything going on. By the way, we only have arguably 3 tickets left for this tiki hut. But Derrick Boles is going to be there because he's a persistent man. He wanted to be involved. I said he could be involved, and then we kind of worked around some things. And I remember driving back, and he flipped the breaker back on. I'm coming back from Triumph with my entire team. And Abby said, "It's Derrick Boles on the phone." I said, man, that one got away from me. Abby will tell you, I felt really bad, man. I was like, how did I let that one get away from me? But he called me and he flipped the breaker back on. What a great call. What a great day. And I remember hanging up with him and talking to Abby and the team. And I'm like, man, I did make some commitments to him that might have been vague. And I really want him in. And we kind of filled the show, the retreat up. And I'm like, we got to get him. We got to get him. I want him. He's a godly man. He's a spiritual man. He's a driven man. This man serves. And so he called again. We called. We put this thing together. And he's going to tell us. I know he's going to be there. I think he's bringing a guest. And it's going to be amazing. But my life is a damn mess. Is yours? My life is a damn mess. Is yours? Derrick Boles told me this morning at 7:10 a.m. that his life is a damn mess. And I laughed so hard because I'm like, you get it, man. You get me. You get the Wired Differently movement. There's something special about him. There's something special about this movement. There's something special about you. Why are you getting up at 7:30 to listen to me every morning? You know, we have over 1,000 views of this show now. When we just started like on the balcony in my house 6 months ago, and I was just like, okay, I'll come live every now and then. But 7:30 a.m. every day, I'm on time, baby. This is the real dealio, the real letter rip potato chip. We're going to get it done. Today is the last day. It's Friday. I'm going to bring Derrick Boles on here any second. We're going to talk to him about the last S in M.E.S.S. The last S in M.E.S.S. He is not the last, but his S is the last S in M.E.S.S., and it stands for Serv. If we want to be a damn mess like Todd Saylor and Nick Wallenda, Darren Gray, Tracy Saylor, and now Derrick Boles, step up to the plate, baby. Let's hit it out of the park. I'm a damn mess. You know who else is a damn mess? This man right here, Derrick Boles. Look how handsome he is. How can you not want to hang out with that smile? He's almost like 12 or something. He's a huge human being in spirit and in so many things. Derrick, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm you know, like, I don't really get nervous anymore, but I always get butterflies when I go live, and I like the lives because it just makes me alive, right? I really can't make mistakes on lives. You know, you just kind of go and you move through it, and you talk, and thinking, and when you have people like you on the show, it's just hard to miss. Derrick Boles played at Idaho State, set all kinds of records there. He was just an amazing basketball player. Moved on through life. He played high school at Bellevue High School, I believe, right there near Ypsilanti and Lansing. I think you taught Irvin Johnson how to play basketball.
I didn't teach Magic anything. I mean, the truth is he was the mentor. So he was the one teaching. But you know what? One of the best players to ever play the game. No question.
I mean, how can you sit there in Michigan right now and actually just say one of the best players to ever play the game?
Yeah, no question. Probably the best player to ever play the game.
I'm in that camp. You know, I watched the show with Jordan and all that. What was that called? That series he called?
The Last Dance.
The Last Dance. Well, my dad, one of the biggest regrets I had as growing up, I always did everything with my dad, and I don't know, for some reason, I just wasn't a basketball fan. And he called me up one day because I grew up in Hudson, Michigan.
Okay.
And you're in Lansing right now, right?
Yep.
So and that's where Magic came from, I believe. And my dad said, hey, we're going to go watch this kid play high school basketball. He might be a pretty big deal someday. And come on, jump in the car. And they're like, man, I'm too busy. I'm going to watch the Planet of the Apes or something like that. I was like 10 years old. And sure, man, it was Irvin Johnson.
Man, and the truth is, you got a chance to see one of the best to ever play the game. And, you know, but when you're young, you already know, like you said, our lives is a mess, is a damn mess. So we don't even know what we're, you know, experiencing. And that's real talk.
Well, listen, let's set the listeners up. We got quite a few viewers on here already, and it's just great. So I'm not going to pretend like I've studied your ascension and your descension, right? Downs, man. And we're a positive show, but we cannot rise if we don't fall, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and I think our life is full of ascensions and descensions, and our Christian walk goes up and down, up and down. I'm never gonna be a liar in that regards. I've had my ups and downs, but you have an amazing story, and we're gonna touch on that a little bit. I just want the viewers to hear right now. This is Derrick Boles, an amazing high school athlete, standout athlete, amazing college record-setting D1 Idaho State athlete. Then he went and played 8 to 9 years in the overseas professional league of basketball. I met him at the Super Bowl. We hung out. We broke bread. You know, it's amazing. I wish you could. Matter of fact, I'm going to set this up for you. Look at here. I've got something I want to show you, Derrick. I'm going to surprise you. It's because I want you to realize that I do think about you, and I put some time into everything that I do. Can you tell me who that is right there?
Yeah, absolutely. That is E.T. Eric Thomas, the professor. That's him.
That's him. And you were with him. Is that at Phoenix?
Yeah, that was in Phoenix, and it was powerful because ET actually brought 50 high school students from across the Midwest to the Super Bowl, which is a really, really big deal. Big deal.
I didn't know he did that.
Oh man, unbelievable person, unbelievable man, unbelievable spirit. How about that? There you
Now,
go.
there we go. He is a serve. I mean, he fits the S. Eric Thomas. Look up Eric Thomas. He's an amazing ascension story. It's great. How about this guy right here?
Now, this guy right here, I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, I just love you so much, Todd, because the truth is one of the things that you continue to do is you continue to really surprise, educate, and lead. And I love what you're currently doing. It says a lot about your character, and it says a lot about how humble you are. I mean, think about what you say. I want to put this in context for people who are listening. My life is a damn mess. That's how you start the show. So you got to remember, man, I love that even though we all think we have the answers, nobody has the answers. Come on, man. Come on now. Let's be real.
Let's get real like Derrick. Let's get
real.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Let's be real. My life's a damn mess. But we're going to flip the switch, flip the script, turn the breaker back on, bring in some lights in the house, right? This is what Derrick does to me. He makes me go cray-cray. He makes my body spin. I want to be like him. I want to feel like him. I want to look like him. Look at that smile. We all should aspire to be a damn mess like Derrick Boles. All right, I got another. I just wanted to show you how much I appreciate everything about you. And I wanted to just kind of let you see that I planned some things for you. So tell us, the viewers here, I mean, like, very few people know who I am, right? And it's coming, baby, right? It's coming. And I would say you're kind of in the boat. I mean, people know who you are in Lansing and Ypsilanti and in Phoenix will never be the same. You just tore up the Super Bowl. Who played there? I don't know. Derrick Boles. I don't even know who won the game. Derrick Boles. What did I do for 3 days and an afternoon? Derrick Boles. Well, what did you go there for? Derrick Boles. Like everything changed, you know. And so I just want to let you know how excited we are to have you at the Tiki Hut retreat. But give us a flash of your ascension, and then kind of just take us where, you know, your keynote and your messages, some of the things you're going to talk about at the Tiki Hut retreat.
Sure. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to attend. I mean, that says a lot. But on the other side, you know, at one point, I was emerging, Todd, just so you know, as one of the top speakers in the country. Like, I was building a brand. I was excited. I was, you know, people had known me for doing a bike ride. I rode a bike from San Diego to New Orleans, 1,892 miles because of the school shootings that took place in Newtown. And that was 2012. During that time, man, I was overly excited. I felt like God had put a purpose in my journey, in my life. And when that happened, I got extremely sick, like deathly sick, like in multiple areas. And I'm going to give you just a quick snapshot so you get a better feel, so you can understand what I've already experienced and been through. So when you look at me, you don't see any issues, because God has always found a way, good, right, wrong, and different, because he loves us. And you know that. And we all know that. And so I got to keep it 100. But I went through the process of having a brain aneurysm. Oh, I know. Cellulitis.
I had that one. Check mark.
Man, no joke. End up having 2 strokes. So even though I'm talking to you right now, there was a time where I couldn't make a sound. My mind wasn't working. It was a very interesting time. Ended up having a defibrillator put into my chest. You can't see it, but it's in there. It's in there chilling. And on the other side of that, and this is why I'm so thankful that I have an opportunity to connect with you and share my story, I ended up having 2 heart surgeries. So people don't realize when you have heart surgery, it changes you, not just from a emotional standpoint, but from a spiritual, just what you see in your life. Your perspective is totally different. And then I had back surgery. I know you like, man. You like, how is he moving? How is he working out? How is he doing that stuff? Well, one thing that I was taught by one of my mentors, father / person of influence, is Mike Garland. He's always taught me to never quit, never give up, never do any of those things. So that's just not even in my vocabulary. Just so you know, like I don't even think in those terms because it doesn't make any sense. And then I ended up having blood clots. And then to finish it off, I had COVID-19. And God said, I am not done with you yet.
You remind me of Job.
Yeah. The funny thing is when you say that, people are calling me the modern day Job. No question. And you know what? Stories will repeat themselves if we don't learn from them. So I guess I'm in that space right now.
Right. So like clearly you're in a wheelchair now, right?
No, I'm not in a wheelchair.
You're using crutches. Are you using crutches to get around?
Nope. I went from
I'm being facetious right now. I'm like, anybody that's went through that obviously disabled or can't move, or like you had life altering incidents, physical ailments. I mean, like things that should have killed you more than once. And those pictures I just showed everybody is, I mean, what are you? I mean, seriously, you're not 6'12", but you're like 6'8". What would you?
Yeah, I'm about 6'5", but you know, man, I used to be 6'7", but things have changed. You know, when you have back surgery, I think you shrink secretly. You get a little bit smaller.
You totally do. So I want to give you so I had 3 back surgeries, right? And so the third one, the doctor went in and I had like a complete what's it called? Fusion. L4, L5, and S1.
Yeah.
And they put a rod in me and 6 pins and all titanium and whatever they had to do. And the doctor said, well, these discs are no good. And I'm like, I get it. He goes, well, I invented. I feel it. I know. I get it. You know what sciatic is, right? Because you invented the word too. And so he says, well, I invented the fake disc. And it's like, the fake disc? He goes, yeah, we'll take the old one. I'll put 2 new discs in for you. And I said, you know what, Doc? I said, really? He goes, yeah. And I said, well, if I get those, he goes, I'm going to add at least an inch. So he stacked me. He gave me the extra large stack, right? So I went supposedly the other way. Now, if we stretch, that's what they tell you. Now you got to keep stretching. But
right.
So tell me about like where you're at. So we've went through all this. You've had all these difficult things like a modern day Job, and they've just and a lot of people would look at that and they say, "Man, life's not good for me.
Right?
Man, I can't get it right. I lost money. Some people lose relationships. They lose marriages. Right? The number one word for I'm a damn mess. We're going to break those out. But I want to just establish with the listeners out here, this is Derrick Boles. Derrick Boles. This man is amazing. He literally, we told a story this morning how he turned the breaker back on in my life, turned the breaker back on in my relationship with him. He turned the breaker back on. He just really is an activator. He is not the kind of guy that's going to stay down. He's going to flip the switch. We're going to go on. We're going to get it on like Donkey Kong. It's just not going to stop him. Multiple things have tried to kill him, tear him down, ruin relationships, take his money, take his friends, take his dignity, take his humanity, take everything he ever had. And he said, no, back off, Satan. I don't have time for that. I got stuff to do.
I do not have time. And that's the truth. And at the end of the day, there's so much darkness and so much just people who don't care about other people floating around. And we have to find ways, regardless of what our current situation is, to literally stand up and move past it and pretend like it's not happening. Good, bad, whatever it is, we got to find a way. And that requires, and I want to make sure I say this, that requires a number of levels of faith, which ebb and flows, because sometimes we don't understand. We always have to be prayed up and connected to something that's bigger than us. Real talk. Yet again, I do it all the time, because if I don't have it, I can't even move. I can't do anything.
Talk to Debbie right here. You see her comment, God's not done with you yet?
I do see that. I
Yeah,
do see that.
she's a faithful listener, and she's amazing. I've never, I'm not going to hurt your feelings, Debbie. I think we might have met once, but she is coming to the Tiki Hut retreat, so you're going to get to meet her. And
Okay.
she's faithful. She's amazing. She is in a startup situation, moving into a different phase in life. What would you speak to somebody, to Debbie, that's probably been smacked down, been told she can't do something in a phase in life where she just didn't think she had another chapter in it quite the same, but yet she's
Right.
going to do it wired differently? Just give her a little bit of encouragement.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Debbie, first and foremost, I appreciate your comment. And yeah, there is no question God isn't finished. He has so much more in store. But on the flip side, I would encourage you, and it's going to sound crazy, spend time alone, right? Spend time. I know it's going to sound crazy, but I need you to tap into what I'm getting ready to share with you. Spend time with just you and God.
Christina Wilson, very good, very good. Christina Wilson, God moves mountains, and man, she is obviously not afraid of pronouns. She's a woman. She knows that we're all men or women, and we're doing things in life in whatever way, whatever form we come in. We don't care. We're not stuck on labels here. She's just saying God moves mountain, men, women, people, whatever it is. Christina is a follower. She is going to, I don't know. I think she just won a little scholarship. We haven't got her committed yet, but just encourage her. She's going into a new job, from what I understand. The last couple haven't worked out. She's got a son who she's raising. He's 17 years old. I follow her a little bit, and I know.
Okay.
Encourage her, because she's really got to nail this next job.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and again, I will always continue to say that we have to deal with our own personal faith. And if the more faith that you have, the more that you believe in something that's bigger than you, the more that you place all of your worries. Now, it's going to sound crazy. Place your worries and give it to God. Think about what I'm telling you, right? I need you to
do much.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, and I love what we're talking about right now. Our lives are a damn mess. And so if we are taking on all the worries and taking on all the challenges and everything, I mean, at the end of the day, if we can't give it away, that means that, God's so much bigger than us. Come on now. Be real.
Latane Forrester says, love cannot rise unless we fall. Latane Forrester has been lost her husband a little over a year ago to cancer. She was by his bedside literally for 3 years. Spectacular human being. She will definitely be at the Tiki Hut retreat. When you meet her, she'll turn your breaker back on, man. This lady is remarkable. She's starting a new business. She's in land and real estate, and I've had the privilege to work with her in coaching for several years. And I couldn't tell you how proud I am of her, but she's got some verbos, some Airbnbs in South Carolina. Give her some encouragement. How does she move to the next level in faith, next level, leaving some of this difficult stuff in the past, maybe relationships going further in life? I mean, Latane, I know you're a damn mess. I've witnessed it firsthand. There's nothing you can't do. I know you lost your husband in that marriage, but he's in a better place. And I know you're still married to him. I know you're still married to things. I know you're married to Bo. I know you're married to your world and your witness. I know you're married to the things you're doing, Lord. I know Latane can do these things. Lift her up. I'm telling you what, Latane Forrester is a force of nature like you, Derrick Boles. Give her a little bit of encouragement, because she's amazing, and I think she could probably use it this morning.
Yeah, absolutely, Latane. And first and foremost, just to encourage you, sometimes, especially with me, when I had my back surgery, I sat in the chair for 3 months. I need you to stay with me. Couldn't move for 3 months. And it was the first time that I started to have suicide ideation. Now, I know you're like, man, this dude is positive. Why was he be thinking about suicide? Well, I'm going to tell you what, when your family leaves, you're by yourself, everybody's gone, and it's just you in a chair by yourself, your mind will go to the darkest places. So I always want to tell you, and I say this in encouragement and in love, put people around you who love you, who care for you, who want to support you, who want to build you, who want to deposit into you. Because if you can do that, I'm telling you right now, it will change your mindset because your mind will go to the darkest place possible. And that's real talk. I went through it. So it's not like I'm making it up. Like I went through the whole process and I had to pray to God to pull me out of a place that probably if I didn't pray to him, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. And that's real talk.
You haven't, I don't think you realize the impact you just had on the team. You have no idea. I know the team.
Yeah. It's real. Well,
in the spirit, you don't know her. You just spoke to her heart and her soul. Jason Ball, how are you, my friend? This guy is Mr. Positive. He was the first adapter to my show, and his wife, they're amazing. Just give him some encouragement. He's got one business, and he's getting ready to add another business. Jason, say hi to Mr. Derrick Boles. He's an amazing guy, and just give him some encouragement. We got to get him to the next level where we get him to this other business. He's got some inventory, not challenges, but the world's throw some curveballs at him. He's had to reinvest a couple times differently, and we're scaling him. We're going to be talking about scaling him at the Tiki Hut retreat. And I don't, what I do know about Jason is I don't, Bargain Bin is the name of his place here in Angola, Indiana. And we're going to have him on the show one of these times. But
okay.
I don't think he fears much.
Right.
Lift him up in his new business real quick. I want to get you to people. People are joining like crazy right now. God bless you guys. Derrick Boles clearly has intuition. He is in tune with his inner soul. He's in tune with the things that we talk about on a regular basis. He's clearly wired differently, and he is a damn mess. Come on now.
Man. No, and I just want to say, Jason, I mean, obviously you're being tested. And I say that in a positive fashion because a lot of times when we see tests, we think that is negative. But the truth is, if you really want your business to succeed, you're going to make it succeed. It don't really matter what it is. You're going to have that tenacity, that drive, that overcoming spirit where regardless of what you're facing, you're going to knock it out of the park. And I'm telling you right now, ask Todd when I started calling him, how many times I call, how many times I sent the messages on Facebook. Like we were going to connect either way. If you want your business to succeed, it's going to succeed, period.
Luther Crawford, Captain Luther, served in our country, went to war, was in combat, has been in war ever since with his mind, his life.
Yeah. Raising
children, the biggest dude, Derrick. He's almost as tall as you. He is amazing. He's raised 2 children, survived his death of his first wife. He's been married to an amazing woman. He's rekindled his life. He's rekindled his excitement for life. He picked up everything, wired differently, and moved to Tennessee. He just sold everything. Just said, I'm going for it, Todd. And I'm like, you got to go, baby. He left, bought a house in Tennessee. Now he's starting his own woodworking business. He's a very successful truck brokerage, hauling brokerage to haul goods and goods all over the country. He can, if you need something moved, call him and he'll do it faster and better than anybody. I'm really encouraging him on his entrepreneurial mindset, his skill set is wired differently, but this dude's a damn mess. His poor knee, he needs some love. His knee is not giving him the respect. Do you know anything about bad knees?
Man, I know all about bad knees. I know all about bad backs, bad vertebrae, all that stuff, man. But you know what? I want to encourage you too, Luther, because the reality is anything that you want to make happen, just so you know, you already have the skill set. I need you to think about that. I mean, you served our country at a high level, and a lot of, I already know. So, I mean, the fact that you are around, that you're here, that you bring value, that says a lot. So anything you want to see happen, Luther, you already got it, big dog. Now you just got to grind. There it is. You see my eyes got big? You got to grind.
You are clairvoyant, man. You called him big dog at the end, and this guy, I mean, he is big. He is loving. He is resourceful. He is resilient, man. He is the word ecclesiastical, man. I'm so certain. We're going
Love
to
it.
wrap this thing up here. We're going to go a little long because you're so damn good. You're like people's lives you never met in your life. You're speaking to them, to their soul. And they're literally sitting here right now. They're like, how do you know? So I want to thank you for that. I want
Thank
you
you.
to get out here because I'm going to close on my life's a damn mess. Your life's a damn mess. Darren Gray's life's a damn mess. Nick Walenda's life is a damn mess. My beautiful wife on Monday, her life was a damn mess, and she admitted it. It was a mess the day she met me. she got both versions of the mess, but she's rolling in the right mess now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just going to wrap off what a mess means for you listeners who are jumping in. Derrick Boles, amazing man, a true force of nature, a voice of God, an overcomer, right? He's amazing. And he admitted that he is a mess. He's married to something. Give me one thing you're married to.
Man, I'm loving the process of loving other people. I know that sounds crazy.
That's a big call. What do you do extra? E for mess. What do you do extra in life? What's something you do extra?
More than anything, I take anything that I've learned and I try to pass it to my children because I feel like everything that I've acquired through my life has value. So if I can't give it to anybody, I'm gonna give it to the people who are closest to me.
Right. The first S in M.E.S.S, right, is sacrifice. Give me a quick version of what you've sacrificed in life.
Man, the funny thing is, and I think I shared this with you earlier, I sacrificed my time for other people. I know that sounds crazy, but when you sacrifice your time, it impacts everything around you, even if you don't see it. Even when you are in your own space because of your ego or whatever it is, you think that you're doing it right, but you're making a mess. That's all it is. You're making a mess, and you don't even see that you're making a mess.
The last S in M.E.S.S is your S. It's called Serv. Take us out on the word serve. Give us something about Derrick Boles and how you're serving right now.
The funny thing is, and a lot of people don't realize, but in 2012, I did a bike ride from San Diego to New Orleans to the Super Bowl a long time ago.
Before me?
Before you. Before
you were cheating on me to Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's true though. It's true. And I did the bike ride because of the school shootings that took place in Newtown. Yeah. You remember when that school shooting started, and we're still in it right now. That's what's even more weird. So 10 years, 11 years, going on 12 years, we're still dealing with the same issues, and we got to find a solution to figure out how can we impact our communities so kids aren't afraid to go to school. And that's another real conversation that people don't want to talk about.
All right, I'm going to give you the definition of serve, and you're going to pick the one, and you're going to let it rip on one of these, okay? Here's your choices. First one, serve definition. That's sacrifice. Sorry about that, guys. Serve. First one, to act as a servant.
Mm-hmm.
To wait on tables. The third one, to offer or have a meal. The fourth one, to render assistance, be of use. Fifth one, to have a definite use. This cup will serve as a sugar bowl. And last but not last, but not, to put, that should be put, to put the ball in play like tennis or badminton. And the last one is ecclesiastically, to act as a server. Just give me one of those topics that you liked.
Well, I think the one that resonates with me is act as a server. I think it's simple. We get caught up in our own ego. We get caught up in our own ideas. We get caught up in how we were raised as kids, and then we think we're right. Like, there's so many byproducts, and the problem is we all have challenges that we face based on our personal experience. And so you gotta add that into the equation, especially as you get older, especially as you mature. And this is gonna sound crazy, that's gonna really shock everybody that's paying attention, especially as you get closer to your end date, because your end date is coming. So if that's the truth, how do you become better so you can become the best version of yourself every day that you wake up?
Well, we're gonna take this out, and I wanted to thank Derrick for every thing that he's doing, what he represents in so many things for so many people. I want to thank you first and foremost for turning the breaker back on this morning in my house. Did you know you turned the breaker back on in my house for me?
I'm thankful. That's all I can say. I'm thankful, and thank you for the opportunity.
You know, you turned the breaker on in my house. You turned the breaker on in this show. You turned the breaker on for probably 6 people you spoke directly into their life this morning. And I just wanted to call everyone here to serve. The end of this, I don't know, it's probably one of my best series. My life's a damn mess. Derrick, thanks for having a messy life. I want to thank all the guests this week for just spilling their guts and admitting that their life is a damn mess. That we are married to something, commitment to win, to be successful for not only ourselves, for others. That we do extra things for everybody around us, because that's what we do. We don't just quit at the 1-yard line. We go the extra mile, right? And I want everyone to know, be and do those things. We have to sacrifice. We have to give up something for somebody else. You know, God did that in the biggest way we can ever imagine. He sacrificed his only son. That's how much he loved us. All I'm asking you to do is sacrifice some time for your child. Sacrifice some time for the soup kitchen. Sacrifice some time for your wife. Sacrifice more time than you realize to maybe your business and your commitments, man, because all of these are intertwined in your marriage commitment, right? And last, if we can do all these things through service, a service mindset, like my man Derrick Boles, literally on demand spoke into the hearts of 5 or 6 people. You can't fake that on live. He serves from his heart. You can't feel other people if you're not serving from your heart in all things. So I really want to thank you. And I want to challenge you, my friends, to serve. I want to challenge you, my friends, to put the ball in play. Nobody can love on you if you don't love on them. You have got to serve the ball. You got to serve the badminton. You got to serve it to somebody. If you want like them. If you want love them. If you want people to give you stuff, give them stuff. If you want people to shine, then you got to shine for them. I mean, you got to serve it up, baby. You can't just start with 0 and expect stuff to land on you. The world isn't created that way. God did not create the thing in our life to be that way. God said, serve.
Serve, serve, serve.
Serve, serve, serve. I want you to serve, Derrick. Latane, I want you to keep serving. Luther, keep serving. Jason, serving. Christina, serving. Deb, serve. And when it hurts really, really bad, because you've served, you've overserved, go serve some more.
Yeah. Yep.
Like my friend Derrick. Listen, I didn't expect the show to be this powerful. But you gave it to us, man. I can't wait to see you at the Tiki Hut Retreat, ToddSaylor.com. Everybody give him some comments. Check him out. Derrick, God bless you. We'll be in touch. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care. Take care.
Great show.